Hey everyone, this is what we're going to be creating today. We're going to have an MP4 with a green screen where we're going to have this little clown pop up just like that. We also have the image inside come out from in behind the print and it'll come out onto the stage here. We're going to add a couple of clickable buttons that we can actually have the user engage with. So TikTok, Instagram, or in this case, touch your RSVP. I want to make a note of this. This is a very glossy, let's try to find the best, very glossy surface. You can see that this is not a realistic kind of tracking, but it does a very good job in case you want to know how super glossy areas could work. As long as the tracking image itself is robust, this kind of tracking will not be a problem. So this is what we're going to create. Let's get started. Because this tutorial is going to be a little bit more advanced, I do recommend that you watch the other tutorials for WorldCAST. They're very easy. So I'm going to put a link above me if this works out well, and then you can any other platform I share this on, the link will be below to access the playlist of tutorials, so you can see all the cool things you can do with WorldCAST. So in this particular case, we're using Printcast. It's one of our studios within the WorldCAST ecosystem. It's for print-based natural feature tracking images. So postcards, flyers, business cards, that type of thing. So this is what we're going to recreate. You just saw in the video before this what it looked like, and this is what we're going to recreate in the studio today. So I'm just going to simply delete this. So here we are starting from fresh. So I'm going to go Printcast, and we're going to call this Halloween Special. I'm going to go next. So at this stage, you can either upload your design that you have already, or if you're a Canva user, you can supercharge the process by using all their tools. So in this case, I'm going to go design in Canva. I'm going to select flyer 8.5 by 11, and Canva is going to open up directly inside WorldCAST. So you have the ability to pick through a bunch of templates, of course, or you can search for what you might need. In this case, I'm going to go to a design that I already have in play. So I'm simply going to select this, and I'm going to go export to WorldCAST or Printcast, sorry. So I can also change any of the elements here. I'm just leaving it basic. I mean, we could put other information on it and actually change it to be real, but in this case, it's good enough for you to understand this could be your flyer with your information. I'm going to go export to Printcast. And this is where Printcast will analyze the image and say if it's good enough to use. In this case, it is, and I'm going to go create. I recommend that you use your own image, of course. Don't follow exactly everything I'm doing. Find your own. It doesn't have to be for Halloween. This could be for birthday parties. This could be for anything. In this case, Halloween is coming up, so I want it to be a little Halloween centric. So here's the image. We have this in play now. So I could go to Sketchfab and bring those models in just by searching. So I could go Hospital Hallway, and we'd see the hallway come up, the different hallways. I could browse to the exact one I want. This is it right here, Apocalyptic Hallway. In this case, I've actually already pre-downloaded my models and all the elements I'm going to use. So I want to show a little bit more of an advanced feature. Well, we could browse the Sketchfab and grab them all individually. I have downloaded them separately, and they still contain the attribution in the file folder when you download it from Sketchfab. So the creators will still get their attribution, which is very important. I have all my elements here, like the overlay, and we'll explain them as I go along. But for now, I'm just going to grab them all. I'm simply going to drag and drop them right into the studio. Here's the video. I'm going to say I want to filter green screen to make sure that the green screen is gone later on. I'm going to go proceed. And I'm just going to go proceed to all the rest of the elements here. All right. So I'm just going to move a couple of the elements off to the side. Now, actually, I'll make this one bigger right now. Just go on doing that one. That one's going to be the overlay that goes on top, so we can add that glow effect to it and a little bit of the design factor. What I'm going to do is I'm going to time lapse a bit of this, because if you've watched the following tutorials, the moving around and stuff you'll get. So I'm just going to continue to do so, and then I'll slow it back down when it's time to talk about a little bit more things. All right, I have some of my elements in play. So I'm going to turn on the secret function, the magic function that makes it so you can see into the print. All we have to do is go over onto the right-hand side underneath cast properties. Once we do that, we'll go objects below grid are visible. We will go be if behind image. for live, and right now I'm going to go always because it allows me to see better when I design. And we'll go back to that. For these shadows, I'm just going to go nowhere, so nothing is going to go off the edges of the print. In this case, I can now see a little bit better. I'm going to move this down like that. Just be just a hair underneath the actual surface, so you can see the grid lines going across the top. Okay, because if I bring it back up, see how the grid lines are gone? We want to be able to have it so the grid lines are just visible. That's just below the surface of the print. So that part's perfect. Let's grab our little character. Because the idea is we want the character to move out X distance. So we're just going to move it into the scene, or move it out to the scene where we want it, like that. I think that's going to be about the right area. And I'm just going to bring it up, and we're going to match the area with this stage. So let's just move the stage a little bit bigger. So we'll raise it up so it matches the floor and behind, just a hair, so we can see that we're not replacing it. There we go, right there. And we'll just push it into the scene a little bit more. Hold on. There we go. So we're going to raise the zombie girl up a bit, so that the feet are not being included into the actual plane itself. So I'm happy with that. Let's make the stage just a tad smaller and raise it up just a bit more to compensate for that size value. Perfect. So there we are. Now let's add some button elements. Actually, let's just grab this image here, Halloween costume party. And we're going to go glowing, so that adds that bloom effect to it. Okay, so we're going to go over here and create the button. We're going to go image, we're going to go create button, and this is where we can create a button for all of our stuff. So in this case, I'm going to go text content. I'm going to go touch here to RSVP. I'm going to go to color options. Stand out a little bit more. We'll make it, can't remember what color I used before, but that's fine. Let's use yellow kind of color. Sure, let's grab this value. Okay, and multiply that to the lower part of the grades as well. Actually, you know what? I might just add just a tinge of more. Go, and I'm going to go to border. We'll make it red. Border options, we'll just make that a little bigger. We'll go back down to the color options for text and just simply make it black. And I'm gonna, that's fine for me. I'm gonna leave that as is. Actually, I'm just gonna do one more thing. I'm gonna go to the button corners. Let's just turn to right and bottom, top right. There we go, it's sharp. Let's make the left radius a little bit more curved, and let's just do that to the bottom left radius, and do this to the bottom right radius, and give us a nice little cool look. Let's go export as image. So it looks good to me. Let's go upload. We'll just make this bigger. We'll add the glow effect onto it as well. And we'll just move it down. And simply go up on top of this platform. Line it back up at the actual spot. All right, it's coming together. I like it. A little bit different than the last one I did. I made her a little bit smaller just to match the hallway a little bit more. We can obviously change that. We can just go a little bit bigger on this. So I'm going to add one more element. You can grab your own. Just actually want to go back to this Halloween costume party. All I did was take the original image. I right-clicked and saved it. So let's just save this for a second. So save and publish. Let's go checkout. We'll leave it on free because this is an example of everything you can create for free on our system. Let's go checkout. So I'm going to go preview now. If you just right click and save this image, that will be the actual image that you would be able to use for printing as well. And what I did is I went to Photoshop and I simply blocked out and made a transparency of that section. That's how we have the header and footer going on, right? Let's just go back to the studio for a second. Let's go cast properties. Let's go if behind image. Let's go update. And we're going to add a border. I made my own. You can make your own as well. And basically you can go to Photoshop or any other system and just create a border that overlaps the print, the image, as well as reality. So if you have a little bit of bleed into reality as well as bleed into the print. So pretend this blue line is the actual edge of the print. So you want to go over top of reality and into the print a bit, and that will help any kind of reality bleed, as I call it, from happening. So in this case, I'm going to grab one I already have in my image library. So go image, and we'll go to image from library. Now we have a bunch of images in there already for the average user to jump on with all social icons and stuff. But this also does save your images that you use over time. So if you have something you use a lot of time, you just go back to it. In this case, I use this for an old poster for Mandalorian. I'm just going to go Mando border because I know it's going to work for this particular one. And I'm just going to resize that. So you can see how I can see the print in behind that, right? So that gives me a little bit of example of what's going on. So I'm just going to raise this out a bit. I'm going to go back down here on Touch RSVP, and I'm going to add our website. I'm going to say I want it to take about maybe 5 seconds to fade in and over a 3-second duration. And now I'm simply going to go save. And go checkout. I'm going to go preview and we'll see what happens. If you have a web camera hooked up to your desktop, you can use the web camera for preview instead of your phone. It's nice and handy, right? So we're going to do one more thing here. I'm just going to go save one more time. I'm going to go check it. I'm simply going to download the PNG of this QR code, okay? So I'm just going to go return to studio. I'm going to go back out to cast properties. I'm going to go select a new file. I'm going to go edit on Canva. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this QR code that I just downloaded. I'm going to simply drag and drop it right inside Canva like that. I'm just going to resize it where I want. And we could put something on the other side and balance it out. That's a design choice that you could do. I'm just going to go export to Printcast. It's going to reanalyze the image because we have now added more features to the image. You can see that it climbed up a bit in the score because the anchor points down here in the QR code are going to contribute to the overall scene health. I'm going to go update and I'm now going to go resave. That to take effect. Now you can see the QR code is on there. So let's check out what's going on. It's going to resave it. I'm just going to save this image as. Save, and we'll just open it up, and it's now gone to my other monitor, which you can't see right now. I'm just going to return and go to my phone. So now we can see the other image on my monitor just to save paper instead of printing it off. I'm just going to scan this QR code, and the system is going to come up and say, hey, just aim at the image that is in front of you from scanning this QR code. So let's just do that. See that design come to life. So if I tap that button, it'll go through to the website. Let's quickly add a couple extra buttons here. So let's just go to images and go to image from library. Let's go TikTok. Let's grab this one here. Let's go select. And again, we'll just do the image. We know we just want to go right above a little bit. Let's go out. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Perfect. Now we could actually do something a little bit more fun than I did in the last one. We'll just put it on a 45 and just raise it up. And again, we'll just say we want it to be like 5 seconds. with a 3-second duration, and we'll have it as well go to the website. I mean, ideally you would have your links for all your social ready to go and just copy and paste, right? And I'm gonna go glowing as well. And let's just go save, check out. So we can we'll scan the QR code again on the print. We'll give it a few seconds and we'll have those buttons fade in. If I tap this TikTok button, it will go through to the site again. Or if I went back and touched the touch here to RSVP, it would go through to the dedicated link that we resolved. So we could easily add another button on the other side to balance it out. You can also add touch action to the 3D model itself, but I caution if you start getting a bunch of images, it might be a little hard to start learning where to touch or for the user. So if this zombie came out and I had a touch action on the actual model itself, what could happen is as it came over to TikTok, the bounding box of the model may overlap the TikTok element and block the touch from touching TikTok. So always trying to keep in mind your design, especially if buttons that people are going to engage with, where other elements might fall into play or may overlap and make it harder for the user to go through. So that shows how easy it is to create interactive print inside WorldCAST with the power of Canva and Sketchfab directly integrated. So this is also an example of what you can create for free on our system. The only thing that we have on our free is you have a banner going across the top. Paying the $10 will remove that, as well as give you some deeper analytics. But other than that, there's absolutely no limitation on free. You get all of it. You get unlimited views. You get everything. Like we're not going to cap you off at, if you got a couple million views, awesome. Good for you. That's what we want, right? So anyway, I can't wait to see what you create.